Hi, my name is Tristin and I am going to be presenting my project of the exercise session project. So what it is, we have been in a strength and power class for over the past month, and what we've been doing is putting together a project for a client to go over exercises and different things that will best help him with his physical activity, to help him get in better fitness and in health. So my client, his name is Tyler Salem. It's actually my brother, and he is 23 years old. He used to be a football player, but he recently retired. He used to run in the past for 3 days a week, but for the past 4 months he has lived a sedentary lifestyle. So what a sedentary lifestyle means is that he has not been active at all. He hasn't been running, he hasn't been walking. And walking is like he's walked from his car to the grocery store. That's about as far as he has actually walked and exercised. But for the most part, he has not been physically active. And so what we are doing here today is we are going to be trying to build on that and get him more physically active, get more exercises. But first we want to build him a strong foundation. But before prescribing him a program, I want to go through a PR code with him, a PRQ. So a PRQ is just to get inform me and inform other medical physicians of his readiness for activity. So, for example, like one question that might be asked is, has your doctor ever said that you have a heart condition or high blood pressure? If he answered yes to this, then he would need to go see a physician and answer more further questions. But that is just one example of a question that he had to answer. There's 7 other questions that he had to answer, and he answered no to all of them. And due to him answering all of them, he passed, and he's able to begin the program with my supervision. Like I said, he lived a sedentary lifestyle, so he will be in phase 1, which we're going to be focusing on his stability and mobility. In phase 1, we can also work on his balance and flexibility, which is what we are specifically going to be focusing on, which is his flexibility. So before we started the exercise program, I sat down with Tyler and discussed what we wanted to get out of this program. So that would be more specific as a SMART goal. So SMART goals are designed specifically to figure out what the individual wants and what we can achieve, and what we can do throughout the program. So SMART is actually an abbreviation, and so the S stands for specific. It's clear and direct of what he wants his goal to be. And Tyler set his specific goal to be able to gain 4 inches on the sit and reach assessment. So that's when he'd be sitting like this. There'd be a ruler down there, and he'd have to reach far, and we'd measure how far he'd get. We would see how far he'd get, and we would test him, and hopefully at the end of the program he'd gain 4 more inches. I know I wasn't a very great example myself. I am not very flexible, but that was his specific goal, and that's what the S stands for. So now we're going to look at M, which is measure, and it's a way how we're going to measure how to see how his progress goes throughout the program. And this will be done every Monday throughout the program. The program will be 6 weeks, and we're just going to determine how every Monday we will test him and doing a sit and reach test, and each week he'll be measured, and if he's progressing and if he's reaching further, then the program is working. If it's not, then the program will need to be changed in order to fix the program best to fit him, and so he will progress. So that's what M is, just stands for measurable. And then there's A, and it stands for attainable. It's attainable because it's not asking for an instant achievement like running a mile in 6 minutes. It's slow and progressive, and it's easy for him to attain. And there's R, which stands for relevant to his needs. So Tyler is wanting to begin to build a strong foundation. So that strong foundation first begins with stability and mobility. And that is how we will be focusing on building his physical activity. So then later on, he can move on to different phases, such as phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. And the T stands for time bound, which is the 6-week program. It's 6 weeks to complete the program. gain what he wanted for his specific goal. And I will monitor it as the program goes on. And so now I'm going to go through one day of exercise. So specifically how I'm going to set up Tyler's goal, or how I'm going to set up his work plan, is he's going to work out 4 days a week. And so I'm just going to go through one day, and how his week 1 will be a warm-up of the cat-cow. So the cat-cow is actually used as a warm-up, and it's to improve extensibility within the lumbar external muscles. So how you'll start is you'll assume the quadratic position with your hands positioned directly under your shoulders and the knees positioned directly under the hips and shoulder width apart. So from the starting point, exhale slowly while contracting your abdominals. So you'll go like this, and then you'll lower back down. And you'll go like this, and go back down. It's important to perform 2 to 4 repetitions. Make sure you're breathing while you're doing this. So this is just one warm up that he'll be able to do while he's doing the program. Another one that I have him set up doing is the leg swing. So he'll be doing leg swings, and he'll be doing flexion, and then he'll be doing abduction, and I'll also do extension. So when he's doing this, he's just trying to warm up those leg muscles. I know I'm not very flexible, so I'm not a good example, but it's just a way to get his legs moving throughout the program, and that's what we want to be able to do. Also, we're going to do the lying hamstring stretch. So he'll be laying like this, and he'll be leaning forward. For his first week, he'll be doing 1 set, and he's going to do 2 repetitions, and he's going to hold for 15 seconds. So he'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'd hold that for 15 seconds. It's really important that you're not bending your knee. You want to keep that straight. This is working on your flexibility, and you want to be breathing while you're doing it. You don't want to do it to where it's painful. You just want to do it to where you feel a stretch. There's also toe touching, and this is when you're going to make sure that your head is tucked down. You don't want to be looking up while you're doing it, and you'll be reaching for your toes. So he'll also be doing 1 set of those 2 times while he's doing the 2 repetitions, and he'll hold those for 15 seconds. And as he progresses throughout the program, he'll also do those longer. For example, in like week 3, he'll do for a minute. He'll hold them for a minute. And it's important to also take rest while you're doing them. There's always a 30-second rest. We're gonna move on and look at 2 more stretches that he'll do through the 1 day of program that we're looking at. And that is the anterior capsule stretch. So the anterior capsule stretch, he'll be laying like this, and then he'll be pushing out. And you'll hold that for the time that it stays, which I believe is 15 seconds. And then you'll also be doing, so this is the mod pretzel stretch, and then this is the anterior capsule stretch. I got those mixed up, but both are stretching and helping improve that flexibility, which we will be working on throughout this program, because we want to give him a strong foundation so he can move on to his different phases. As we go on through the different weeks throughout the program, there'll be different activities and exercises that we add, which is like pelvic tilts. This is when you're just rotating your hips, and you're just rotating like that. And then also, those will also progress into different forms as he goes on, as he progresses, which I will monitor while he's doing the exercises. He'll also do a single kneaded chest, which is he's stretching such as this, just helping work on that flexibility. These stretches are really important for working on that flexibility. Also, one thing that we can do in this program is mind body exercises. So that's like yoga. We learned about that. That can take a day of exercising and replace that. And it also helps still focus on his specific goal, but it also is a different way we can add in different exercises and activities. And so these are all just trying to build a foundation for his flexibility and focus on his mobility and stability, and to get him to the physical fitness that he wants to be, and later on progress even more further. Thank you so much. This is my project. Thank you.